Today I'll take the revision session, ma. If you want me to repeat any topics, you please let me know in the chat box. Let's start the class. Is my screen visible? Yes, ma'am. So as we have completed with the first unit, so today I'll take the revision session. So what we have discussed is first we should know what is a register. So what are the topics which we have discussed till now? I'm just going to revise those topics. First, we'll see what is a register transfer language. After that, we'll see different micro operations, types of instructions, and everything we'll see. Meanwhile, if you are having any doubts or any topics to be explained, you can post, you can post the doubts or the topics you want me to revise in the chat box. Okay. First, let us see what is a register. What is a register? Register is the temporary storage area. Register is the temporary storage area which presents in your processor. So whenever you want to retrieve the data for execution of any instruction, you can retrieve the data from the hard disk to the memory, and from memory to the cache memory, and from there you can move the data to the registers. And whenever you are performing any operation by retrieving the data present in the register, that operation will call it as a micro operation. If you are executing an instruction by considering or by retrieving the data from the register, that is known as a micro operation, right? So we have different registers in your system. 8 registers we have. You know that. What are these? Instruction register, IR register, AR register, program counter, accumulator. Like that, 8 different registers we have in your system. Along with that, we have a memory component. And what is the size of the memory component? Will consider for a basic computer. To design a basic computer, what should be the memory size we consider? It is 4096 by 16 bits. What does it mean? 4096 by 16 bits means what? The size of each word is 16 bits. And how many words the memory can hold? It can hold memory words. How many? 4096 memory words it can hold. Right? Now, you know, these are the different registers we have. Program counter, address register, temporary register, instruction register, so on, data register, and so on. Right? Now, when you want to represent any register, how to represent a register diagrammatically? You can represent with a rectangular box. The rectangular box. And if you want to specify the name, you can write the name inside the register. Every register will have some range or the size, and the size of the register you can specify in the form of a range starting from 0, and the 0th bit should start at the right side of the register, right? So this is known as LSB bit, least significant bit, and this higher order bit is known as MSB bit, most significant bit. 1 second. Okay. Please don't write anything on the screen, ma. Okay. You know what is a micro operation, and whenever you want to represent the transfer of the data from one register to another register, there we have a language, or one representation is there to represent the transfer of the data, that is known as register transfer language, right? How you will represent? You will represent with an arrow mark. Suppose if this is your register transfer language, it means that transfer the content of the register R1 into the register R2. Clear? Next, here you have a control circuit. When this register transfer will occur, the register transfer is occurred based on the value of P. This P is known as a control variable which is given by this control unit. Whenever the value of P is equal to 1, then only the transfer of data is occurred. The transfer of data from one register to other is possible only if the control variable value is equal to 1, right? Now, so you know what is a micro operation, right? The operation performed by taking the data from the registers. Now we have 4 different different micro operations: register transfer operation, arithmetic, logic, and shift micro operation. When you see these 4 in register transfer micro operation, there is no change of data. The data, when you are moving from one register to another register, data will not be changed. Whatever is there in R1, you will just place that R1 content of R1 into some other register, say R2. In case of the remaining remaining operations, arithmetic, logic, and shift micro operation, the data may be changed. The content of the register may change, right? Now, so here, before we discuss about the different type of micro operations, we should know what is a multiplexer, because for construction of the arithmetic operations, logic, and the shift micro operation, you may use a digital circuit known as a multiplexer. Simply, we'll call it as a MUX. So, multiplexer means it is a digital circuit which takes in n inputs, and produces a single output. From multiple inputs, a single output is generated using the digital circuit multiplexer. Okay, right? Whenever you want to represent the size of a multiplexer, you can represent 2 power n by 1, which means that the number of input lines are 2 power n and the number of output lines are 1. Along with this input line and output line, you will have selection lines for a multiplexer. What is the need of the selection line? Because here the multiplexer is taking multiple inputs. From those multiple inputs, only one input you are selecting as a output. Which input line is to be selected, that is decided by the selection line. So if the number of input lines are 2 power n, then there present n number of selection lines. Number of selection lines will be n. So multiplexer is also known as a data selector. Why? Because you are selecting one input line, the one input line as an output. We will call it as a data selector. Different types of multiplexers we have: 2 by n, 4 by n, 2 by 1, 4 by 1, 8 by 1, 16 by 1, 32 by 1, like that. In number of multiplexers you can have. Different sizes of multiplexers we have. Let us see what is a 2 by 1 multiplexer. So in 2 by 1 multiplexer, the number of input. So this is the general format of a multiplexer. The size is 2 power n by n, which means that the number of input lines are 2 power n, where n is equal to number of selection lines. From these 2 power n selection input lines, single line is selected as your output line. When you see this 2 by 1 multiplexer, this will have 2 input lines, and whenever the number of input lines are 2, how many selection lines you can have? 2 you can write as 2 power 1. Whatever is there in the power value, those many selection lines you can have, 2 power 1. So a single selection line will generate a single output line in case of 2 by 1 multiplexer. Right? Now, when you see the logic circuit for this, so how to construct the logic circuit of these two input lines, right? They are D0 and D1. S is your selection line, right? Now, these two input lines were given as an input to an AND gate, a basic gate known as AND gate. Here, these logic circuits are implemented with simple basic gates and OR gate. This is your NOT gate or a complement gate. This AND gate will perform the product, OR gate will perform the sum, complement, or the NOT gate will perform the complement of the data, right? So this is the logic circuit for 2 by 1 multiplexer. As it is 2 by 1 multiplexer, so you have only 2 AND gates, right? What will be the output you will get? So here the output is, I'll explain how you got this output. D0 S bar plus D1 S. That means the number of input lines are 2, right? D0 and D1. Number of selection lines are 1. For a single selection lines, how many data values you can have? You can have 0 or 1. Single selection line, you'll have only 2 values. If the value of S is equal to 0, if the value of S is equal to 0, then the input line connected to the 0th input of the input connected to 0th input line of the multiplexer is selected as output. If S equal to 1, whatever is connected to the first line of the multiplexer is selected as output. Now how you will write? If S equal to 0. S equal to 0 means when you consider the default value for S as 1, for S equal to 1, then how to write 0? S complement. S complement. Whenever 0, which input line is selected? The line connect to the zth line, that is D0. D0 is selected, or only one input is selected, either D0 or D1 is selected. D0 is selected when S equal to 0. Similarly, D1 is selected when S equal to 1. So in this way, you can construct the logic circuit multiplexer. If it is a 4x1 multiplexer, number of input lines are 4. So when you, how to write 4? So you have two selection lines. Based on the values of the combination of S1 and S0, the selection lines, one input line is selected as a output. If S1 and S0, when just see the truth table, what is the corresponding decimal value for 0, 0? It is always 0. So whatever is connected to the 0th input line, here in this case, it is D0. So D0 will be your output Y. Y is D0. Similarly, if the values are 0 and 1, so whatever is connected to the first input line, that will be selected. Like based on the selection values combination, one particular input is chosen as a output for a multiplexer. So this is the logic circuit. So as the size is 4x1, so 1 AND gates are S1 S0 or 0 0. That means D0 is selected when S1 bar and S0 bar is chosen. So D0 is selected if the value of S1 and S0 are 0 0. The values, default values for S1 and S0 as 1 1, then when you can choose D1 bar and S0. S1 bar and S0. Like that, we can select D2 and now we'll see how to construct multiplexers. Construction of common bus system. Common bus system is used to transfer the data between the registers and from memory component to the registers. Right? So this is the way to construct a common bus system using the multiplexer. Here I am considering a bus system for transferring the 4 bits. That means the size of the register is 4. Then you require 4 bus lines. 4 bus lines are required because each line is used for transferring each. Now, so here I am considering the registers, 4 registers. So consider 4 multiplexers, 0 to 3. 0 to 3 are the 4 multiplexers because we are considering the registers of size 4 size. Now, multiplexer means what? Multiple inputs are to be given and a single input. What is the size of the multiplexer? Here I am considering the size of the multiplexer as 4. Why? Because the number of registers are 4. Number of registers are 4. So size depends on the number of registers. Size of the multiplexer depends on the number of registers. Number of multiplexers depends on the size of the register. Clear? Number of multiplexers depends on the size of the register, and size of the multiplexer depends on the number of register. I am considering 4 registers A, B, C, D. So size of the multiplexer should be 4x1. And size of each register I am considering as 4 bits. Size of each register is 4 bits. Therefore, number of multiplexers are also 4. Clear? Now see the construction, ma. So what are the inputs given to this multiplexer? The 0th input of all the registers are given as input to the 0th multiplexer. 0th input of all the registers is given as an input to 0th multiplexer. Similarly, first input of all the registers is given as input to first multiplexer. Second input of registers is given as input to next this mux 2. Next, fourth bit of all the registers is given as input to mux 3. Right now, the size of the multiplexer is 4 by 1. So you should have two selection lines, S1 and S0. S1 and S0. By choosing the combination, different combinations for S1 and S0, one multiplexer will be chosen. If the value of S1 and S0 is 0, 0, what happened? 0th line from all the multiplexers is chosen. Why? Because these are the selection lines you have provided to all the multiplexer. All the multiplexers are provided with these two selection lines. So if it is 0, 0, the corresponding decimal value is 0. Whatever is connected to the 0th input of multiplexer. What is connected? A0, A1, A2, A3. So these bits are chosen as output and they will be transferred in the bus system through the bus system. So if the selection values are 0, 0, register A is transferred. Registers A data can be transferred through this common bus system. Similarly, if it is 0, 1, the corresponding decimal value is 1. To the first line of the multiplexer, we have connected the bits of the register B0, B1, B2 and B3. So, B register data is transferred through this bus. Similarly, if it is 1, 0, register C is selected. If it is 1, 1, register D is selected. Next, the common bus system can be constructed in two ways. One is by using the multiplexer. Another way is by using a tri-state buffer. Tri-state buffer. So, tri-state buffer means it will have three inputs. One is input line and the third. It will have three states. One is input state, output state and a control input. And a control input. So if the value of control input is 1, whatever the input we have, whatever the input you have, that will be chosen as output if the control input is 1. Similarly, if the control input is 0, then the tri-state buffer will act like a high impedance state, is in high impedance state, which means that nothing will be transferred to the output. Nothing is transferred to the output. Let us see how to construct this. So here, when the second way for constructing the bus is using the tri-state buffers, right? Along with the tri-states, you will be using a decoder. What do you mean by decoder? Multiplexer means from multiple inputs, you will be getting single output. But here in case of decoder, you will be getting multiple outputs from the not the single output. Right? If the number of input lines are n, the number of output lines will be 2 power n. Right? So number of multiple outputs you will get using the decoder. Now let us see how to construct this. This is your decoder. This is your decoder. Here I am considering a 2 by 4 decoder. Number of input lines are 2. When the number of input lines are 2, how many output lines you should have? N input lines. Sorry, 2 power n input line. That is number of output lines are 4. 2 by 4 decoder it is. And it will have two selection lines. 2 by 4 decoder. The power value is 2 because 2 power 2 equal to 4. So 2 is the number of selection lines. Right? Now, the 0th line of this decoder is connected to the tri-state buffer for A0. So this is the tri-state buffer. Here I am considering 4 registers A, B, C, D, each of size 4 bits. So one input. I told you that this tri-state buffer is having 3 states. One is input state, output state, and a control input. So the inputs to all these tri-state buffers are the bits of the register. So here, this whatever the circuit we have here, this will transfer or this will generate a single line for transferring the single bit of a register. So this is the bus line for transferring 0th bit. If the size of the register is 4 bit, you need to have 4 stages or 4 digital circuits, 4 circuits of this type. So using this circuit, you can generate or you can transfer 1 bit of your register because it is giving you only 1 line for transferring the single bit. Now, as there are 4 registers, so 4 tri-state buffers we have considered. The inputs given to these tri-state buffers are the 0th input. We have given the 0th input of all the registers as input. Now, based on these selection lines, on one input will be chosen. Either one value from 0 to 3 will be chosen from this 2/4 decoder, right? Suppose if 0 is equal to 1, the remaining value should be 0. If any one value is 1, the remaining values should be 0. Right? Now, these outputs you have given as a control input to the tri-state buffer. These outputs are given as control input to the tri-state buffer. Now, whenever the value is 0, 0, if the selection line values are 0, 0, what happens? Which line will be chosen? 0th line will be chosen. That means this is 1. If this 0th line is 1, remaining all becomes 0. 0th line is 1 means remaining all will becomes 0. Whenever this becomes 1, the control input becomes 1, what happens? Whatever the input is there, the same input will be transferred to the output. So here you will get A0 in the output line. When the 0th line value equal to 1, remaining all values will become 0. Whenever this so here we have given these as a control input to the tri-state buffer. If the tri-state buffer control input value is 0, it acts like a high impedance state. High impedance state means nothing will be transferred. So B0 is not transferred, C0 not transferred, D0 not transferred. Only A0 is transferred. So this bus line is chosen this bus line is used to transfer the 0th bit of your register A. Similarly, if the values are 0, 1, the corresponding decimal is 1. So this value becomes 1. That means B0 is transferred as the output. The remaining values become 0. So A0 is not transferred, C0 is not transferred, and D0 is not transferred. In the same way, by choosing the different values for the selection lines, one line will be chosen from the decoder. Next, see the memory transfers. How to write the register transfers for moving the data from memory and writing the data into the memory. For every memory system, you have mainly 2 operations: read the data from the memory, write the data into the memory. Right? Now, whenever you want to read or write from the memory or into the memory, first we should know the location of the memory. That is represented with the word or with the letter M. That location you will represent with the letter M. Where you are writing, from where you are retrieving, that is represented with M. Right? Now, whenever you want to transfer the, suppose, consider a read operation. That means from the main memory, you are reading the data and you are placing into some register known as a data register. So, where that address is present, the address of the memory content is always present at address register. So, this address register will give you some value. The address value, suppose 100. So, go to the memory location 100 retrieve the content from there, place the content into the data register. So this is the register transfer language for a read operation. Similarly, for write operation, from the register, move the data from register to the memory location. Let us suppose if I want to move the content of R1 into some memory location. So into which location you want to move, that address is provided by the address register. So from R1, move the content into the location specified, the memory location specified by your address register AR. Right? These are the two operations you can perform with a memory, read and write. Yeah, let me know any other topics you want me to explain. Some of you asked me to explain the registers concept, so I explain now. Any other topics are there? Any other topics? Did you understand all the concepts in what we call first unit? Then I'll give a brief decoder. Okay. Decoder means the number of input lines are n. Then if the number of input lines are n, from n input lines you can select 2 power n output lines. If it is multiplexer, from 2 power input lines you will select 1 output line. But in case of decoder, the number of input lines are n, then the number of output lines are 2 power n. Okay. Any other doubts? Any other topics? So you please go through this what we call micro operations, arithmetic micro operations. We have discussed the logic circuits, right? How to perform a binary, 4-bit binary adder subtractor, and logic circuit we have discussed. The one which performs all the arithmetic micro operation. You please go through them. So you know what are the arithmetic micro operations? Obviously, the arithmetic micro operations are addition, subtraction, increment, decrement, and so on, right? So before we discuss about addition, subtractions, first we should know the ones complement and the twos complement, because in our computer system, always the subtraction is performed using the addition, right? Generally, for our decimal numbers, how you will perform the subtraction using a subtraction, some minus symbol. But here, subtraction is implemented using the two's complemented addition. Two's complemented addition. Right? What do you mean by one's complement of a number? One's complement is simple, ma. Adding, converting the values, or complementing the values. Suppose if this is your data, to find what should be the what will be the one's complement for this. One's complement is just to change the bit values. 1 is changed to 0, 0 is changed to 1. So one's complement will be 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. Now the 2's complement. So to calculate the 2's complement, first we should calculate the 1's complement. To the 1's complement, if you add a 1, then you will get a 2's complement. This is your 1's complement. For this same number, if you are asked you to calculate the 2's complement, first we should find out the 1's complement. To this 1, I should add a 1. Right? So, you know the basic rules for addition, right? When you add 1 and 1, the sum is 0. It will produce a carry of 1. 1 plus 1 is 0. The result is 0 and a carry is generated. Now 0 plus 1 is 0. No carry. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. So this is your 2's complemented value. Clear? 5 IO reference instructions. Okay, 518 asked for IO reference instruction. Okay. 51U bus line also. I didn't get you, ma'am. 51U. What is this bus line? Bus system you want me to explain? Okay. 518 asked me to explain IO reference instructions. I'll go with that. Is the decoder part is clear to 511? 511. The inputs and outputs for decoder. Is it clear? Okay, okay. Let me go with IO instructions. 1 second. I'll share that. So computer instructions are mainly of 3 categories: memory reference instructions, register reference instructions, and IO instructions, right? So let me explain these IO instructions. You know what is the instruction format, instruction register format? The instruction register size is of 16 bits, right? The size of IR is 16 bits. So in the 16 bits, 0 to 11 bits represents or used to know the type of the IO register. 0 to 11 bits represents the type of the IO register. So see here, ma. This is 0 to 15 bits. The range is 0 to 15 bits. So this 0 to 11 bits specifies the type of the IO reference instruction. Now 12 to 14 bits are the opcode values. The opcode value is fixed for IO reference as well as register reference. It is 3 ones. 111 is fixed. Similarly, this 15th bit represents the ith bit, and this ith bit value is also equal to 1 for IO instruction. If it is a register reference instructions, the ith bit value is 0 and the opcode bit value is same, 3 ones. So this 0 to 11 bit specifies the type of the register. Now we'll see the IO instruction. So these are your IO instructions. So how to know the how to what should be the value of your IR register for a particular input output instruction? Here it is. I told you that these 4 bits are fixed, right? Ith bit is fixed to 1. The opcode values 12 to 14 bits are also fixed to 111. Now, if this 11th bit is 1, let us see what will be the corresponding decimal value, right? So this 4 ones value is equal to F. It is F. Now 1000, it is equivalent to 8. 00, 0 equal to 0. Next 4 zeros, last 4 zeros is equal to 0. So the corresponding decimal value, the corresponding value for this is F800. If the value of IR is F800, it performs an input INP operation. What is this INP operation? Input a character to the accumulator. Input a character to accumulator, which means that you have an INPR register which will hold the input data given by the input device, right? So whatever the data is there in INPR, from there your data can be moved to your accumulator if the operation is INP. Similarly, if the value of IR is this one, F, this 0100 is 4, F400, then OUT operation is performed. Output the character from the accumulator, right? From the accumulator, move the content into OUTR register so that the data can be displayed on the output device. Next, if the input value, if the IR register value is F200, then SKI operation is executed. skip the next instruction if the input flag is 1. If skip the next instruction, what is input flag? FGI. Skip the next instruction if FGI equal to 1. Similarly, if it is F100, skip the next instruction if the output flag is 1. Next, if it is F080, interrupt is enabled. Interrupt IEN is a flip-flop which is used to know the interrupt, whether the interrupt is there in the system or not. So if an interrupt is occurred, IEN value should set to 1, right? So whenever this IR register is equal to F080, IEN, the IEN flip-flop is set to 1, interrupt enabled on. When the interrupt is solved, you need to set IEN flag to 0. That is performed whenever this value is F040. Whenever IR value is F040, IEN is set to, IEN flip-flop value is set to 0, which means that interrupt has been solved or serviced. Clear? 1 second. Now I explained what are the types of IO reference instruction. Now we'll see IO reference instructions along with their what we call register transfer languages. IO instructions with their. So before we discuss IO reference instructions, first we should know how IO system works in the computer, how the input-output system is working. So here we have, you know that INPR is the register which is used for holding the input characters. OUTR register holds the output characters, right? So here these are your input-output terminals. That means output device and input device. And from the input device, the data can be transferred to INPR register using an interface, transmitter interface. Now, from outer register, it can be transferred to your output device using a receiver interface, right? These are the communication interfaces, and these are the flip-flop and register. OUTR is the register, FGO, FGI are the flip-flop, accumulator is one register. Now, how the data transfer will occur, let us see. From the keyboard, if a data is, 1 second, if an input is given or coming from this keyboard, then it will transfer through this interface, through this transmitter interface, and it will be placed in INPR register. The data is hit by the keyboard. Whenever anything is hit by the keyboard, it will be placed into INPR register through the interface. Initially, the value of FGI is set to 0. Initially, it is set to 0. Whenever the value of FGI is 0, then INPR can receive the data or it can hold the data only if it is 0. Once the data is accepted by this INPR, FGI value is set to 1. FGI is set to 1. Whenever FGI is equal to 1, INPR is unable to accept the characters. INPR is unable to accept the input character. At that time, I don't know. At that time, if you hit anything on the keyboard, those input characters will be maintained in a queue at this transmitter interface, right? Now, what is the value of FGI? It has been changed to 1. Whenever it is 1, the input characters are moved from INPR to the accumulator. Now, whenever the data from INPR is moved to accumulator, FGI is set to 0 so that INPR can hold the characters from this input device. Now, the initially value of FGO is set to 1. FGO is set to 1. Whenever FGO is 1, OUTR out register can hold the output characters, can accept the output character. So from the accumulator, the data, whatever the data is placed on the accumulator from this IMPR, that can be moved to OUTR register when it is 1. Once the data is moved to OUTR register, FGO is set to 0. Whenever FGO is set to 0, OUTR register cannot accept the data from the accumulator. Now, what the OUTR register will do? Whenever FGO equal to 0, it is this OUTR register is in the process of placing the output character onto the output device through the interface. Once the data is moved on to this output device, you can set, this FGO value can be set to 1 again, so that OUTR can accept the data from the accumulator. Now these are the different IO instructions, right? INP, input the character to the accumulator. That means move the characters from INPR to the accumulator. As the size of accumulator is 16, but the size of INPR is 8-bit. So these 8 bits should be moved into lower 8 bits of your accumulator. That is 0 to 7 bits are to be of accumulator are to be replaced with INPR. Next, what we have to do, whenever the content is moved into the accumulator, you need to set FGI equal to 0, because this transition will happen in IMPR to AC. This transition will happen only when FGI equal to 1. Clear? Now, OUT, output the characters from the accumulator. When it will happen? When FGO equal to 1, then only from the accumulator output characters can be placed into OUTR register. From the accumulator, you can move the lower 8 bits to OUTR register, and once this is done, you can set FGO to 0, because this will happen when FGO equal to 1. Next, skip, SKI. When this will happen? PB9. What do you know? You know what is a P? Because if the decoded value is D7, then only if the decoded value D7 is equal to 1, then either input or output instruction is executed. That is dependent on whether it is input or register reference instruction. That depends on the ith bit. If ith bit value equal to 1, then it is an input output instruction. It is executed at T3. So your P is common for all the IO instructions, D7, IT3. Now, and if the 11th bit of your IR register is equal to 1, then INP is executed. If the 10th bit is 1, OU2 is executed. If the 9th bit is 1, SKI, skip the next instruction on input flag. That means if the input flag, what is input flag? FGI. If FGI is equal to 1, then you need to skip the next instruction. Always the address of the next instruction to be executed is stored in program counter. So increment the program counter, because you are not going to execute the next sequence in the next instruction in the sequence. Similarly, if the 8th bit is 1, then SKO is executed. That means if the output flag is 1, you need to skip the next instruction. If 7th bit is 1, ION is executed. That means interrupt enable on. So IEN is the flip-flop used for interruption, right? So if IEN equal to 1, then interrupt is present. If IEN equal to 0, then interrupt is serviced. This IEN set to 0 whenever the 6th bit is IR is 1. Clear? Is it clear, ma? Any other day? Yes, ma'am. Bus diagram. 7E. Bus diagram. The one which just now I explained, right? You are asking the same? Bus construction 5-7E, you asked me to explain the bus diagram part. Bus diagram is how to construct the... Okay, you understood. Any other doubts? Any other doubts, ma? IVO inst. Oh, sorry, I forgot to share the PPTs. The last... Didn't I share the last class PPTs? 579? I'll check and I'll forward, ma. Today I'll do. What is the full form? 7E. ION. Interrupt, enable, on. ION. Interrupt, enable, off. IOF. That means interrupt. IEN flip-flop. IEN flip-flop you have, no? IEN flip-flop is on. That means set IEN equal to 1. That is ION. Set IEN equal to 0. That is interrupt enabled off. Any other doubts? Okay, ma. From next class onwards, we'll start micro programmed control. Listen carefully. Actually, that is the second unit. That micro-controlled program. Micro-controlled program is there in the second unit for CSE students. And that is there in the first unit itself for IT students, I think. So, we'll start micro-programmed control in the next class. Is it clear? First, we are going to cover the common topics for which are there for CSE and IT. The common topics we'll cover first. After that, CSE and IT will be separated. Then we can discuss what are the leftover topics. The fifth unit is completely different for CSE and IT. So till 4 units, the combined classes will be taken. Okay, shall I stop? You can ask your doubts in the WhatsApp group itself, ma. If you have any doubts, you can just ping message in the WhatsApp group. I'll try to clarify. Okay, ma. 1 second. Shall I start the quiz? Shall I start the quiz? In today's quiz, the complete first unit bits will be there, ma. Whatever we have covered till now, on those topics we have quiz. Okay, thank you. I have started the quiz. You please attempt, ma. ఫోన్ పక్కకు పెడితే పని అవుతుంది. ఫోన్ పట్టుకున్నా పని తీరట్లేదు. నాకు కూడా తెలియదు అక్క పాస్వర్డ్ ఏదో ఉంటుంది అమ్మది. Let me go.